It is finally time for the big return to Speed Duel with Marik now in the game, a brand new main box, we've got a bundle deal, we've got, I think that is all happening. There is a new campaign for the Dogmatic Ecclesia, part of the Chronicles, right? You can get an icon, there's a sleeve as well in the shop, that's cool. We're going to do a big box opening as well in this one, kind of a twofold video, but the big thing, of course, first of all, is Marik. Now, Marik has been a little bit controversial in terms of his character, in terms of how the launch has gone, because he's been kind of buggy. You can't do any of his missions currently, right? The 1, 3, 5, 15, 30, they don't work, so that's a bit bad. Also, if we quickly go to the card studio and have a look for Nightmare Steel Cage, this was meant to drop today at Limit 2, but didn't. As you can see, the game thinks it's a Marik level up reward, but it's not. So, has something gone wrong on the back end of Duel Links? Is this meant to be a card trader card, or is it meant to be a level up and got something different instead? We don't know. But this, this card is not very good. It's a stall card. Limit 2 makes sense while I've done it, but that is also not really great, right? Is to have like this kind of buggy release happening for what is like the most long-awaited character for DM World after 8 years, finally in the game, and let's see. Let's just see how good the character is. So first of all, level 3 is your Reactor Slime. Now there's two main different builds of Marik's deck going on in his level ups and the skill-wise. There is one focusing more on the slime stuff, the other stuff mainly on the raw support spells, that kind of cheesing out as quickly as possible. This is for the prior of the deck, right? On summon, you can get 2 tokens, right? And then you could trip them off, summon a big Ra, or in the battle phase, get rid of this, set Reflect Slime, and then you can activate the same turn. Now, is that good in Duel Links without main phase 2? Maybe not, right? Because you can't go into a God Slime in main phase 2, or in the battle phase, so this isn't as good in Duel Links as it's been TCG. Will it be used in the main Ra deck? Probably not. We've then got, at level 10, the Reflect Slime. Okay, makes sense, right? For that version of the deck, this exists. We've got 1 ticket. We've got the God Slime, the Guardian Slime, sorry, going to be necessary for the deck going forward, and it is a one-off, right? So one-off you play because of the skill. Right, the skill is not once per duel, can choose this guy out from the hand, graveyard or deck every turn, so it's not really necessary to run more than 1. Now the weird thing is, it's limit 2 in the game, and they're giving us 3 copies. You can see why, right? Because it is kind of a stall card, right? It's a stall hand trap in a way, with Duel Links only having unlimited duel rooms and not having unlimited in the actual main duel world, right, PvE. This doesn't really make much sense other than, in the future, maybe we can, increase limit to unlimited, right, and then have this card be fully playable, but it's just weird we're getting 3 copies of a card that really we can only play 2 of if we want to. That just doesn't feel right. We've then got Ra as the 3rd copy in the game, which, it does make sense, but at the same time, this could have been a star deck card, right? Could have been included in the main deck, and it takes up a slot randomly for no real reason. So for me, that's a big L. Is that all for card, right? So, right, we got what? Another Guardian Slime, Reflect Slime, another ticket, right? That's 2 tickets. We've got the 3rd one of that, and yeah, so we're getting 2 tickets. That's like that's not bad, right? 2 tickets, some box chips. The other ones are going to be played in that other version of the deck, so they're usable, but there's just some weird things going on, and so it does feel a little bit weird overall. Then for skills, he's got some pretty good ones. First of all, is the main one, of course, gives you Ra, gives you a draw sense for Egyptian God card. This would have been decent, a couple of years ago with Obelisk, right? Cosmic Cyclone, that'd have been big. Destiny Draw for the Reflect Slime skill. This whole character kind of proves a point I'm going to make another video, but I don't like this. I don't like this skill existing on Yami Marik, given that these cards are only available by normal Marik. I don't like this. But this is like the main skill for that Reflect Slime build, right? And so it is cheesing out your God Slime, you're getting a search off of your Ancient Chant, you're sending back your Ra, you're playing the same back to hand, you're getting that True Summon again, you're getting a draw 1, decent value, but it's a bit slower than the other versions of the deck, right? You've got Draw Sense, Spell and Trap, Water, MST, the Fusion, Water Ray skill, we're getting that one as well, Life Point Boost, sure, Master Fusion, this skill, which is a really, really funny farm skill, right, from 2017, 2018, this would have been really big for Duel Links, for farming. I think I would prefer this to getting the overall history of Ubel we got, where Ubel kind of cannibalized all farming decks for the future. This would have been cool. Right, this would have been really, really cool to have back then, but now it's a fun, neat reference, right, to that time in Duel Links, but it's not very playable, I guess. Power Attributed, that original RAR skill that came, that was pretty cool back in the day. We've got the Monster Rebirth skill, that's also not that interesting, right? You know, it's one that's not going to be played. And finally, is the good one, the God's Flare. Now, this is really, really big, right? It gives you a Guardian Slime from wherever you want, which is really solid. You can then obviously sack it off, go for the God Slime, and then if you want to, you can summon out the Winged Dragon of Ra if you've got ways to get that tribute. Right, you can go and do that, or this does just turbo into your God Slime. This should also trigger still when going to the graveyard, right? I believe, I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe then you go for the Reborn, right? You bring it back out, you then get the effect off that way and do things with that. This deck is expensive. For what it is, right? You've got, you know, all these cards coming by level ups. That's cool. You've then got Ancient Chant in the box as ultra rare. You've then got to go into the older box for the Millennium Revelation, I think it is, as an ultra rare, I believe. Or there's some other cards in that box as well, and of course, all the other RAR forms you need as well. So, it is an expensive deck. It is one that kind of relies on you going back into an older box to get the full value of, and so it's again a bit more of Duel Links being just being Duel Links, right? And just being not very, you know, friendly in terms of acquiring cards, basically. But let's go and acquire some cards. In terms of not being friendly, we're going to go and acquire some cards. Now, personally, from the brand new box, what do I want? Well, it is mainly going to be the Striker stuff and the Chimera stuff. Now, you can, I've seen people get away with one Nightmare Apprentice, right? And playing deck free to play. And that's really big. So, I don't think we need to go in and do more than one box run, really. But we kind of do, because linkage is a 2 or 3 of, right? So, that's one thing. Secondly, is I've not got Rose. So, I've got to use a UR ticket, which I have 1 of, on Rose, unfortunately, which then means if I want to play Chimera, I've only got 1 copy of Fright for Patchwork, right, the one that was in the mini box. And so, whilst it's not necessary, it is a good engine to play, and so I might need more of that. So, yeah, it's a bit of a predicament, but we're going to go in and probably regret it, right, because we usually do with our Speed Duel, because we know there's a Rush box coming, and it looks to be really, really good. But hopefully we can farm some gems by then and be in a decent spot. We're going to bless Konami for a little bit. We'll go in and we'll give them some funds. Now, it's been a while. I think the last time was the selection. Maybe it was actually the Rush Duel box, I can't remember. But the selection box definitely for IP Masquerena, which again could be reprinted in over a year's time. So at some point it's going to be, you know, worth it doing this. But hopefully, if we see a linkage or we see an apprentice, we reset. We see both of them, that's even better. But an early one of those 3, or those 2, would be massive. That's good. We've got our first copy of Chimera, and that is the Hamp. So both the decks I was kind of looking to build. That is good. It is a bit weird they've not put like the Mirror Sword Knight, an ultra rare, or even a super rare. It is really weird he's a rare. They could have easily rarity gouged that card, given they did a Master Duel, because it's a 3 of. You know, it's like Researcher, Frat Emancipator. You could have put that at 3 and done really, really well. But I'm kind of glad they didn't. You know, they put Nightmare Magician there instead. You know, if we go in to the final pack of the box, right, we're going to go in for 120 packs, and so we are going to miss out on a few packs in the box. So I'm hoping that things go a bit better, right? When we do, you know, at least pull into something usable. I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting this to kind of be a bit of a mistake, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, Duel Links is a very notorious game for being incredibly worth putting investment into. We could go get Tax Dragon, but I don't think I even want to play that. So, please, be Nightmare Apprentice. Please. Alubar, it's a good one to get early. It's a good one, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, that's a bit rough. Then it is still a reset. Right, we do kind of gamble on only having not that many of the Chimera Fusions. Right, we do take that risk long term. Steam was like, no, you're buying too many things from Duel Links, how dare you? It's been £10. Come on, Steam. I've bought more from Duel Links before in one transaction. Come on, show me the linkage. Show me Apprentice. Okay, tough decision. Because we've pulled her early, do we go and reset? Because this is like a 2 or 3 off. If you want to play, you can play one copy, but that's a 2 off. Oh, that's such a rough decision. Do I think we're going to pull this anytime soon? That's the question. And I do enjoy Chimera more than Strikers. But having 2 of this would be good over the 1 for the OTKs, right? We could clear the entire box and only have 1 still. Or we go in again and could potentially have 2 Apprentice and 1 of this linkage. I'm going to reset. I do want to play Chimera more than Sky Striker. And if we're being honest, right, of those that could be reprinted at some point down the line, Sky Striker is more likely. This would be fucking hilarious if this shows me a spell card right now. Okay, no, show me Ham. Okay. Oh my god. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, I will take that. That's an immediate that's a reset. That's a reset and a half. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, that is a definite reset. Let's go and get the second copies of both. Reset again. There we go. Now it is just going and getting the second Apprentice, the first Magician, and the second linkage, and we will have potentially 80 packs left in the box, right? So if we don't get it in these, then it is going to be fairly quick to find the gems, to go into this, to finish the box in the way I want to, and so that is good. Right, this has ended up being not overly bad. For Duel Links standards, right, given that, you know, there's only 2 decks in the box I want, it's not been that bad. So that's fine. Pack 9, we'll go and do our usual skip in a minute. Pack 10, nothing. Okay, that's okay. Now, if we could pull both in the 10 pool and reset again, then we won't, we'll just save the gems. But it'd be funny if we did. There's the chant. There is the ultra rare chant. So that of course is going to be necessary at 2 to 3 off probably for Marik in Duel Links. We'll alternate. Huh, that changes the equation again. Okay, the problem is we have 80 packs left. Right, that is the big problem, is there's 80 packs left, and I don't want to be in a situation where we have to open 180, and we only end off on, we end up on not actually having the Chimera cards we want. Right, that's the problem. I think 2 linkage is enough. I think 2 is enough. For Duel Links at least, I think 3 might be a bit overkill. The skill does kind of work to make it so you don't brick that badly, but you still kind of can. If you don't see your engages off the Search of the Field spell, send these 4,000 gems, 80 packs down, and hopefully we can pull into the Chimera cards we need. But knowing my luck now, we are going to miss out on the Night Magician and the Apprentice. It just feels like that is going to happen now. You know, we didn't go in with that many gems, to be fair, so we knew we were going to kind of struggle. We could have potentially struggled on having like an entire box worth, you know, and going through and all being the bottom and getting royally screwed. We didn't, which is good, but it's not like great. At the same time, I don't really want to like go in and more gems, and I just like would hope that we'd, you know, right here, go in and get the cards we need, and then dip, right, and then dip. And we've also kind of got a bunch of Chimera cards left in the box as well, like the fusions, right? We have, we're missing these as well, so it's not like fully done at all, and we've only got 40 packs left, and so actually the math was really wrong. But there's second Apprentice, right? There's the second Apprentice, so we are getting there. Not looking too solid, actually. You know, we've got 30 packs left, 70 left in the box. There's those, right? We want to make sure we are going to be going through to the bottom. Okay, that's fine. 20 packs left. Okay, there's the other Chimera cards we need. Okay, sure, we need one more of the big fusion. But we're not going to end on the Night Magician. Unfortunately, we're not. That is really, really rough. Okay. No, we're getting Alibur again. So that many packs left in the box. We're missing one of this. We're missing the we're missing the one-of, man. Can you believe it? And do we like tempt Konami with? It's the last ultra rare in the box as well. Of course it is. Of course the one-of is the last one we need. And if this was Master Duel or any other game, then this would have been a craft away. But it's not. But it's not. Okay, let's end things there. I'm gonna go and farm Marik and go and get some more gems. Hopefully we can pull the Magician and go in and play Chimera Hitking games, play Sky Strikers, do all that, return to Speed Duel in a pseudo way, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Marik down below. Do you think that Steel Cage is meant to be a card trader card, or is it a pseudo hint as to DM World getting a big level cap increase coming in September for some weird reason? It could be that. That'd be cool, but it's probably not. It's probably not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Adios.